Briefly today, the entire altcoin market cap set yet another record new all-time high. As Ethereum comes to the dance dressed to impress with a massive mommy by his side, seemingly unstoppable. And as discussed, the $57.5 to $58,000 range for Bitcoin is incredibly dubious. Does Bitcoin have the strength to maintain the 21 DMA for another 24 hours? And why is it so important that it does? They say you can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. Well, I've got some human eggs for you, if you know what I mean. I'm your host, Spit Spladoosh, and if you like gainers, you have come to the right place. Bananas, guys! Bitcoin is at an absolutely critical spot, and it's been unable to get any significant long time frame closes above this area just yet. But we have to talk about exactly what is going on with Bitcoin. But more importantly, the altcoins as of today have now set another new all-time high ever so slightly. And very briefly, however, this trend is just getting started. Here we are, the very first day of May 2021, and things are just about to blast for the altcoins, in my opinion. And guys, the best way to look at that, I believe, again, is the number 2 cryptocurrency by market cap, the number 1 altcoin. Some would even argue at this point, Ethereum is no longer an altcoin, but a massive mommy coin. And we see Ethereum absolutely setting new all-time highs over and over and over again, approaching that $3,000 range. What is going to happen at $3,000? Will we face a massive rejection, or in fact, is this just the beginning of Ethereum and altcoin gains continued? So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that like, subscribe to the notification, which is absolutely time-sensitive updates. Guys, absolutely very big, and without any further ado, blue skidoo, we can too. Guys, so Bitcoin right now has its first daily close above the 21 DMA in, let's take a look. Last time we were here, about the middle of April, so it's been over 2 weeks since Bitcoin has had a daily close above these levels, and as you can see, it's not been too explosive since. We've kind of just been trying to maintain this 50 and 21 day as support, and this next upper level of resistance around 58.5. But guys, Bitcoin is in a crazy spot, and as Bitcoin's been kind of just trading within this tight little range here recently, Ethereum has been exploding to the upside, and it's just been very interesting as well. We have Chainlink doing incredibly well today, so let's take a look at that. We have Ethereum also setting new all-time highs, just blowing everyone's socks off. Just been very entertaining. Okay, we see Chainlink now also above its 21-day moving average after spending a few days trying to get above it and then cementing it as support. And yeah, on to new all-time highs this month. I firmly believe within the first 2 weeks of this month, I think it's very likely for Chainlink here. We also have Ethereum, guys, even more impressive than most of the other altcoins right now, and it is the second most valuable cryptocurrency, and it's performing so strongly. We came within basically $50 of $3,000 per Ethereum. Okay, and this is, again, just the beginning, I believe. Is a $10,000 Ethereum possible this year? Oh my good golly gosh, absolutely I believe it is. Some people even have higher targets this year, you know, all the way up to 15, 20,000 US dollars. At this point, I'm going to be a little conservative in what I think and say yes, 10,000 is definitely a target that I'm going to be taking a little bit of profit at, because I think it's just absolutely huge and very, very likely as well for Ethereum. And as well, Ethereum coming up on a massive 3K level, guys. I personally think that if Ethereum can breach 3,000 and have a lot of momentum behind it, we could be seeing $3,300 to $3,500 per Ethereum, potentially even all the way up to roughly 36s before maybe some sort of pullback. But yeah, for the most part, Ethereum has just been trading within this upward sloping parallel channel for about a year now at this point, so a pretty long time. And you can see here, actually, if you can even just add what I love to do with these type of parallel channels is I like to have kind of like the top here, the bottom here, put in the midline, okay, so like the exact middle, but then as well have these two other lines kind of like in between those other ones. And you can see that's exactly where Ethereum's coming into resistance now. Let me just draw this other one and then we can get into it. But as well, guys, look at this. You can see, and I did this with Bitcoin like last year, and it was incredibly, actually it's the basis of this entire chart. This chart right here, which has just been proven incredibly valuable for resistance and support levels. Look where we bounced. Look where we're facing resistance. Look where we had a little bit of support here before we fell through. Support here before we fell through. Okay. But again, same for Ethereum here. We just drew those lines here, and guys, look. I mean, look at this. You see, look at all this time where it was a resistance for Ethereum. Okay. And exactly actually where it's facing right now. And if we go back in time, you can see just how these simple parallel ascending lines can play huge amounts of support going back a long time, right? Just straight lines. Same thing here, support. Same thing here, resistance, support. Look at all this. Look at all this resistance. So again, these type of channels I find are just very interesting and accurate for the most part, and they're incredibly simple. So I just love using these type of channels because it's just very easy in a bull market. Okay, these are more channels for bull markets specifically. They don't work as well in bear markets, obviously, because the price is trending downwards. But when the price is trending long-term upwards like this, that is why I love using these for support and resistance. But yeah, Ethereum's at a massive level right here, breaking 3K. I think we could have a nice shot at, $3,600 per Ethereum. And we see Chainlink approaching its range to break into new all-time highs here. All-time highs are a little under $45. Right around 44.3, and Chainlink's just looking really good here, guys. And let's also keep in mind Bitcoin dominance, I believe, is going to be plummeting here. Okay, we had one day of a nice bounce, but ultimately I cannot wait till Monday when we get that actual weekday price action. I think Bitcoin is going to continue decreasing in dominance over this month of May. Whether we get a few bounces or not, I don't think it's super important. Just more so the trend, I think, is going to be down for dominance. And guys, look at this. Over so slightly, we set a new all-time high, 1.12 trillion for the entire altcoin market cap. Looking very, very good. And again, I'm going to be interested to see when the DXY opens back up. However, again, same thing we've been saying for a long time. Ethereum looking very strong. Altcoins looking very, very strong. We've been primarily talking about the altcoin narrative for weeks at this point. It's just been primarily about how excited I am for alts. Even though I'm incredibly bullish on Bitcoin, I don't think Bitcoin's out of the woods just yet. I think Bitcoin has a lot more work to do over the next 2 to 3 weeks before it can get bullish again. Okay, so again, I think Bitcoin's going to be hitting 6 digits by the summer of this year. So within the next 2 to 3 months. Again, so that's a doubling in price within the next 2 to 3 months is pretty massive, right? But again, I still think it needs a little bit of a ways to go before we can get there. And the only thing that would change my mind is if we can flip the area that we're at right now, and if we can maintain this. So again, that's why I said at the beginning of the video about it opening on Monday over the next 24 hours and staying at least above these moving averages, staying above 58,000 US dollars, which is currently, as I'm recording, just a couple bucks below that. But yeah, remaining above 57.5 to 58,000 is going to be huge if Bitcoin's going to get bullish here. And remember, guys, we got this bearish cross, but like I said, I personally don't think this is going to amount in a massive dump for Bitcoin. More so, I think what it's going to do is maybe just enable Bitcoin to trade sideways for a little bit, and ultimately, with Bitcoin potentially doing that, allow the 21 weekly moving average to catch up to Bitcoin up here, right? We're going to be getting a new boost up in the 21 WMA in just like 24 hours here, a little over 24 hours. That's exactly what I think is going to happen. I think that most of the dumpiness for Bitcoin, I think we've seen. However, I still think Bitcoin's going to stabilize more so in this area as the 21 WMA comes up to reach it. And I think that'll be accomplishing a huge thing. The very first touch off of the 21 WMA of this bull cycle since when we were at like 10,000 US dollars. So again, back in the last cycle, we had like 6 or 7 touches on the WMA during that bull cycle. And now I think that over the next 2 to 3 weeks, if Bitcoin can just maintain strongly here and the 21 WMA will come up to reach it, that'll be the first big touch of the 21 WMA of this bull cycle. Very bullish for Bitcoin. And I think that once we get that touch, worst case scenario, once we get that touch, very shortly after, we will be on to new all-time highs and heading straight to that 6-digit Bitcoin confirmed. But as well, I'm also very excited for Ethereum here as it's been just so incredibly bullish, very clearly incredibly bullish also. Wow, so if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, turn on notifications, never miss these absolutely time-sensitive updates. And as well, guys, if you're interested, I got a lot of questions about hardware wallets. The point of a hardware wallet is that you own the keys. You can pull it off exchanges. A lot of these major exchanges have not been hacked as far as I know in the past few years, right? I think their security is a lot better now in general. Back when it was the Mt. Gox days, that was not very secure. So storing your coins on those exchanges were not safe. And even in 2017 and 2018, and even recently, there have been some exchanges that are hacked. But as far as I know, none of the big exchanges, right? I haven't heard of Kraken or Coinbase being hacked or Binance being hacked. So again, for the most part, I think those are fairly trustworthy and they're fairly safe on there. But the only way that you can be 100% sure that your crypto is safe is if you have a hardware wallet. So that's why I always talk about that at the end of these videos. You know, if you want to use the links below to get the hardware wallets, it just safer. You own the private keys, and as long as you don't give out the private keys, then your crypto will be safe. As long as nobody has your private keys, you will be safe, okay? So that's the major thing with that. And I only recommend that if you have at least a couple $1,000s in crypto. If you have like $200 invested, there's not really a point in buying a hardware wallet because they're about $200. So there's no point in buying a hardware wallet to store the exact amount of crypto that it costs to buy a hardware wallet. That's just my opinion though. But as well, if you're interested in trading bonuses or any kind of bonuses or anything like that, well, they're all in the description below. And without any further ado, that's it for me. Bye bye.